Hey, welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod. 2 cents, Josh and Spence. We are your hosts, Josh and
Spence.
What's up, homie?
Not much, man. How about you?
Not a lot, dude. Just shooting a podcast. I guess.
Same. All right.
I've been sitting in this room with you for
What are we talking about today?
45 minutes, I guess.
For the past 45 minutes, we've been talking about what we want to talk about today.
We should actually shoot a like secret pod where it's like you just let the cameras roll for the 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
You just get to hear how we come up with something to talk about and how difficult it is.
I feel like that would be more entertaining than whatever we're about to talk about. A lot of cuts, a few more bleeps.
Oh. Quick shout out here.
Okay, we got a couple shout outs.
Justin's guy, remind me, Ben Buchanan. You're the man. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
We love you.
Well, we don't know you that
Send Dustin some info. We'll send you a hat or a shirt.
You just got yourself
Or
a triple X.
Or we have
all we
one medium women's sweatshirt for free. Snapback hat, a triple X men's t-shirt, or one medium.
Just let us know. Do you want a
sweatshirt.
black, yellow, or white triple XL?
Well, we got you covered, pal.
Woo!
Okay.
Or you can, if you're a small fella, you can cut it up, make 2 of them. You know. Anyway, shout out. To you.
Maybe he needs a nightie.
I don't think he needs a 90, dude.
All right, shout out Ben. Thank you.
Shout out Ben. Thank you, Ben. We got a few other shout outs that we'll make here. So, like, what do we talk about today? So, what has been on my mind lately is just the importance of just mentorship. Like finding someone who has gone where you want to go, and then picking their brain and establishing a relationship with them, and just the importance of that. Because like what I've noticed for myself, and I feel like I'm not alone, like no matter what you do to try to like keep yourself at like a peak state, when you're a growth minded person, you're trying to accomplish more, do more, be more than you currently are. Like that comes with challenges. So then you're, camera on me.
Oh.
So you're
Go to the YouTube.
See on YouTube, shout out, like, subscribe. But like you're like enthusiasm, or you're just whatever. You're even your positivity can just like slowly kind of just, kind of like, even though you're fighting it, you're doing all the right stuff. But then all of a sudden you talk to somebody that's been there before, and that's even doing bigger things, and it just brings you back up there. Yeah. And I don't know, I just found it super important. Like we're doing a lot of stuff. Like we're doing a ton of like growth stuff here with our team that's requiring like all of us, myself included, to have to like do more, be more, learn more. And it's not like, well, this is how we've always done it and whatever. It's like, no, like here's you want to go from here to here, and there's like a chasm there and you need to cross it or whatever. And it's just like, it is. Like I've found it myself, like challenging at times. Then you got to remember, like, why are we doing this in the first place? Whatever. But so that goes back to having a big, strong why. But like, I'm in a mastermind group, so I was able to talk to some guys yesterday, and that was just like super helpful, even though like didn't get any real questions answered or whatever. But because there's,
I feel like when people think of like, oh, I need a mentor, it's like you have to go out and find it. But that's not necessarily true. Like you probably already have a mentor, and it's probably someone you hang out with who is doing something that you want to be better at, whether it's relationships, business, spiritual. Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever it is, like you probably already know that person. You just need to kind of pick their brain and talk about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like when we first started talking today, like, let's talk about mentorship. It's like, well, I don't really have a mentor. And for some reason in my brain, I'm thinking like I need to have like a coach that I like meet with once a week.
I don't have a weekly call with this person.
But that's not true. Like I have so many mentors who are just better than me at some part of my life. Right. So like when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's totally a mentor to me.
Yeah, 100%. Like we do a Bible study with Andrew.
That's a very, very good example of a person I thought of.
Yep, he's a spiritual mentor for sure, and that's not like a hey, you're a stranger. Hey, would you mind I heard you're a good spiritual mentor. Would you
Yeah.
mind being my, it's like, that's not how it happened.
Yeah.
Same with like jujitsu. Like there's a bunch of guys up there, but there's like one guy, Jake, Sensei Jake, you know, like he would be my mentor there, because he's at where I want to be.
Yeah.
And it's, again, not like a formal thing or whatever. And then, you know, and you just have those throughout your, and even like you said, even buddies of yours, but maybe you have a buddy that's, you know, that's good with, that whatever is good with money or good with people. Yep. Or good with, like he's always taking these trips, or his relationship looks good. Yep. Or whatever. Like, pick their brand.
Exactly.
Because then what you'll find too, because then eventually you'll become somebody's mentor, and then you'll find like, yeah, I actually really enjoy this. And that's like a super cool thing to be able to do for somebody. And you don't even know, if you're mentoring somebody, you don't even know that you're doing it when you're doing it.
I was going to say, like,
right?
that I feel that.
Yeah.
Like you, I don't know. You're a good example. Like I would consider you one of my mentors. I can't stand complimenting Josh on this podcast. Can't stand it.
Was this the whole point of the mentors?
But like when we first started to get to know each other, I that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
Like I don't think you knew that you were in that role for me.
Right.
I mean, we were just kind of hanging out and doing our thing, and all of a sudden, I started to learn a lot from you, and then you took that role in my head.
Right.
So, yeah, just I mean, hang around people who are doing what you were wanting to do. So that's how I met up with you.
Yeah, and then same like that. That's a, and then that relationship can change too, because like, you know, maybe that's the case or whatever, but then even so, like you're better at some things than I am.
Yeah.
Right. So then I like look to you, like, you know, I mean,
are we 1-for-1 on compliments? Are we tied up right now?
I guess.
Yours wasn't as good as mine, but that's all right.
Well, that's because I'm more of a mentor to you than you are to me. That's why.
Okay.
But I mean, but just like putting your ego aside, because like as like if you're like, well, I'm his mentor, like I shouldn't have. It's like, no, he's better at some stuff. One of those things is not ping pong, and yet, you know. But another example, like we were talking about, like Tanner the other day, like just some kid, like I'm going to buy a phone, and ended up buying a phone, an Apple Watch, whatever, and like we're just talking, and he seems like a bright kid and is interested. So then I gave him some book recommendations or whatever, and we've stayed in touch. Ended up doing some business together, and I only bring him up because he just texted the other day. He connected me with somebody else that may want to get into real estate, and when he connected, he's like, "Hey, yeah, Josh is one of my mentors." I was like, "Dang, dude,
yeah,
didn't know that." Like I was just being a, but that's the cool thing. Like when it comes back to like spreading joy and empowering other people, like that's what it's ultimately what it's all about. But I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's so important to like set your ego aside and be like, hey, I don't know all things. I don't know everything about everything, and you don't need to. Nobody expects you to.
It's such a weight off your shoulders too when you realize like, oh, somebody has done what I want to do, or somebody feels the way that I want to feel, and it's like I'm not alone. I don't have to like pave the way to get there. Like I can just follow what they did. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just Josh Jastered into this mic. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? And guess what? The two people listening do know what you mean.
Oh!
You know what I mean?
Thank you, Ben.
Ooh, blackout counter one.
Oh, here we go.
Blackout counter one.
Okay.
Even took Alpha Brain this morning. Thanks a lot, Joe Rogan. Bunch of snake oil in there. Yeah, I don't. Oh, but that's like Tony Robbins talks a lot about that. Like, and they talk about that in Keller Williams. Like, successful people are like master modelers. You know, so it's like you just see what somebody else is doing and you model it. Like, if you go to the gym and you see somebody that you want to look like, well, what are they doing? What are they doing in the gym? What are they doing to eat? What are they, you know? Same with finances, same with whatever. But that's the ultimate legacy. I feel like, especially for men, because like women can make babies or whatever, right? But there's something
Yeah, Josh, women can make babies. Good point.
That's not a that's not a can of, that's not or whatever. Or whatever.
Women can make babies or whatever. Like,
but there's something about there's something about that like legacy for man, you know, especially like you have a daughter, you know, she'll likely eventually get married, so she won't even have your last name at a certain point, right? So there's something about leaving that legacy as a man, leaving that legacy of like, yeah, you helped shape and impact
Sure.
other people, I guess is where I was going with that. Women can make babies
or whatever.
or whatever.
If they don't want to, they don't have to.
And we're learning a lot. No. Okay. But that's, I don't know. For me, especially like starting the real estate team, like we started the team, then had a lot of success, and then like the success kind of paused or shifted, and then all of a sudden that's a bunch of pressure. Like, oh, you got to know everything. You got to do you got to know all the, like, whatever. It's like, well, then for me, like, to have those other mentors that have been there, because you get to, what do they say? You can't see the forest for the trees or whatever. Like, you're too much in the weeds to get above, be like, hey, this is just, everything's going to be fine. Like, yeah, I've been there before. I've had to make these tough decisions. Yep. Like, this has happened to me. Everything's going to be okay. And then that then allows like mentee, like, yep, stay the course, keep doing what you're doing. And then you get out of that rut, and then but then too, that's how success goes. Like, it's not a straight line. It's like a back and forth, or like steps or shelves. So each time you like get to the next level, well, now there's another step in front of you, or another plateau that you need to break through. So having a mentor in front of you that you can talk to, and, you know, to pull you through that, to keep you going, because otherwise you'd be like, well, you just, I guess, would just quit, which would suck, which would be a shame.
I feel like a lot of people have, I don't know how to say it, virtual mentors, or like a podcast host, or or whatever it is. Like, yes,
a Spence.
A what?
A Spence.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, we cannot be your mentors, people. We can help, but it's like it's we've talked about it before, like how important a relationship is with someone, to actually like sit down. Like, it's so much more powerful to like sit down with Andrew every week and do that Bible study.
Yeah.
Like, that does so much more than just listening to a podcast for me.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, and both are good. Like,
right.
You know,
but I think it's important to find like-minded people and surround yourself with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so important, because even I've just felt that myself. Like, the real estate market's changed, the team has changed. Like, we've had to make some tough decisions, whatever. And like, there's been times where like you think about like, well, is this what you really want to do? Whatever. Like, this is really hard, you know. But then you breathe, talk to somebody that's been there before, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, everything's gonna be okay. And then on the other side of that, on all that struggle, when you just about quit and whatever, now all of a sudden, a year from now or 2 years ago, people will look at you and be like, oh, must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Oh, easy for you to say. It's like, well, hopefully it will be easy for me to say, you know, or you, or whatever. But yeah, you just get, I don't know. I've just found it super, super helpful. And then even if it's not like a mentor, like not even like a particular mentor in any particular sense, other than but I have some cousins out in Seattle that just live a super cool life, you know, and like, we don't do the same, we're not in the same industry, we're not in the same much, but just like seeing what they do, how they communicate, how they interact, the way that they've kind of structured their life, kind of what they can do, it makes me feel like I want to level up. Even if you have people like that, like, I don't know. It's just important to be surrounded by people that are doing cool stuff. Like, even if you get into somebody's car and it's like just washed and vacuumed and all that, and then you get in your own, like, I should probably wash this car, right? Little stuff like that. Yeah. You know, it's just so important. So even if it's not even a mentor, but having that person around you that you can look up to. Lee talks about that. He's like, if you have like 33% of the people that you're dealing with should like be above you in some kind of aspect to make you
Yep.
want to strive. 33% should be like peers, and then 33 should be people kind of
Who you
not
are
quite where
mentoring.
you want to be that you
Yeah.
can mentor to pull along. And it's
Yep.
just, it's all important because you don't want to just be taking and taking. Like obviously you want to give it back and stuff like that. But yeah, I've just realized that for myself in the last couple weeks, just how important having a mentor is. One, like putting your ego aside and be like, no, I don't know everything. Like, you know, we've done some big things with the team that have, like, yeah, I don't know everything. Like, this is better for me. This is better for everybody on the team. Like, let's do that, you know. And now all of a sudden, now we all have them to be the mentor or whatever. So I don't know, just important. I feel like for myself, it's taken a lot of the weight off and like re-energized me to want to do some stuff. So get yourself some mentors, or be more aware just in your, like, where are some aspects in your life that, like, I could be a little better. Like I could like to be a little more healthy. I'd like to have a little bit more energy. I'd like for me and my significant other to communicate a little bit better. Like I'd like to it doesn't have to, you know.
Yep.
And then just be more aware of that. Like what you focus on expands. So then all of a sudden you'll see that, like they'll uncover themselves and be like, oh, okay. And then yeah, just let the mentoring begin.
Boom.
Do me a favor, Ben. Watch for deer.
Shake your bug.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like that, I know you're going to like this one right here. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Watch for deer and shake a bug.